What's desirable is expensive. $1,200 catalogs every month for 20 years with 22 agencies in order to fund $1,200 every month in order to fund $200 shoots where they're their own celebrity stylists for YouTubes and celebrity photographers for celebrity music videos and jobs out of 140,000 people for $1,200 every month, which is the equivalent of $45,000 every year for 22 agencies for 20 years. It's very expensive. It costs about $1,200 for each shoot, for the photography, for everything, for the international. It's a direct booking for every job. When they say no to slave trade every day, for forced pornography, when you don't have to have an agent. You could come from any profession to be a pornographer or be a prostitute at any age with their own business from the club. Brittany drove to LA from Orange County, being LA based for 22 agencies for 20 years, Monday through Sunday. Out of all the international 20-year models, Brittany was able to win the Ford Supermodel of the World, which is equivalent of Miss World, except there was slave trade with the pageants. And Ford was a better agency than all agencies at the IMTA, lying to people who could be an aspiring model when they can't book them a modeling job. Brittany met Shane West and kissed Shane West at John Robert Powers. But then she walked into a Ford Supermodel open call and became a supermodel promoted by Ford to win Supermodel of the World. She was paid to travel. So out of the Ford Supermodel of the World, Ajuma, who owns an agency in South Africa, underneath her, and Monica, who won Ford Supermodel of the World underneath her, who did the cover of Vogue in her 20s. Brittany was paid with family support to have $10,000 a year with $200,000 from each parent. Her traveling was paid for 3 years until it became ran by a brothel in 2007. She signed with Chris with LA Models for the runway division, and it was always the runway division with LA Models until 24, except for they were the most successful, being more successful than the brothel. She took acting classes for 4 years and didn't work out of Miami or New York markets, being a party promoter or a prostitute in order to fund it. Her parents funded it when she was a nanny, and she could commute with $10,000 a year. She earned her own money with the runway divisions with Elite and Wilhelmina and all the agencies, 8 agencies in 8 years since 2012. There was always a runway division up until 4 years ago. The celebrities canceled her runway show for a French lingerie runway show, and she was bullied by the Kardashians. The Kardashians and Paris Hilton promoted prostitutes. For the past 20 years, Brittany was the most successful supermodel, more successful than the Adriana Lima Supermodel of the World runner-up. She won for the world, and she always was a direct booking through the theatrical division from print and commercials, being the highest paid commercial contract girl. She's more successful than 20-year girls who won for their country internationally. The 20-year ones have more of a resume than any of the models. It's a referral for 20-year producers who are more successful for commercials and theatrical. Commercial producers shoot theatrical. She went every day, Monday through Sunday, for 20 years to say no to prostitution for commercials, campaigns, and theatrical short films with award-winning Cannes producers. She's more successful for every division. When soap stars make $1 million a year with Victoria's Secret supermodels who have their own brand for slave trade. She's more successful than any of them. This is a politician. They have a small network from Orange County to LA to San Francisco to Chicago to New York to Miami outside of slave trade. She always said no to slave trade. Every day she's supported with her parents' house. Party promoters and prostitutes all over the world have less, who are forced into that for the past 20 years. Girls and guys have been sex trafficked for every major brand, committing suicide because they're forced into prostitution. Since 2007, they've been exploited by being a client. But when it's paid for and they earn their own money through catalogs, foreign catalogs, celebrity magazines, campaigns, commercials, editorials, fashion films, short films, and commercials, theatrical reels, they're more successful the entire time than all international supermodels, producers, and they're the godly investors. They're the godly producers. They earned the most to be the paid influencers in the world to change the world's economy. According to federal law, it's $80,000 for every $1,200 job times 2. The ones who work every day as a supermodel are paid $80,000 times 2 for every day for the past 20 years as a referral for producers who never sold out, who never slept with anyone for a job. These are Christian infinity artists. They own the agency for Premier and Option for party promoters for the past 20 years, and people who've been sex trafficked with girls or guys paying, deleting prostitution reels for Premier and Option. Models who work for 20 years who slept with club owners or clients or who are married to them. We are making sure they're not married to a murderer from the club, and we're protecting them deleting prostitution reels. Infinity artists make the most. Bi-coastal and in Hawaii with their own brand, more successful than any Playmate. The Playmate rate for the Kardashians and Paris Hilton for the robust women prostitutes, female and male prostitutes, is over 1,000 per day. They get 1,000 per day times 2 when they never sold out for their selfies. Their families are the most blessed by God when they're not forced into prostitution or party promoting in order to have a minimum wage job, exploited by employees who are prostitutes for campaigns or who sleep with them anyway. It's an all-day partying debaucherous scene with drugs, alcohol, and prostitution all day and all night for employees. The Christian infinity artists made the most by not partying, by not being a prostitute. We're rescuing the lives of the party promoters for the past 20 years who party promoted in order to have a job. Celebrity sales reps make money off the celebrity artists in retail, in medical sales from the city, with the main cities as a referral for other cities. The cost is $600,000 every 20 years for their entire life, with a place to live. Nobody pays it, so they're exploited. That's how much it is for any employee. They will continue to be exploited and called by God to do any job that's exploited as an employee, and they're blessed by God when they don't worship the idols. After 10 years, some people need preventative medicine to not force surgeries. Every single moment of every single day, girls and guys and parents are recruited to the hotel for drinks or to the restaurant for drinks where they do coke in the back and sleep with prostitutes. People are called by God to be clients everywhere. God bless America. Never have an unrealistic expectation to be gainfully employed or to have any job at any given time. It's blessed by God to help them. Some kids who got knocked up 20 years ago had to have $15,000 to stay at home, and it would prevent suicide and heroin. They are all a sales assistant instead of working in an office. As a referral, all charities in the U.S. go to them first as a referral. It's more about them. They're persecuted. They're the oppressed. It's more about their health, their offspring. Passive income. It's either every single thing or it's every single thing. Nobody can survive without the top percentage. A blessing for those who bless you and a curse for those who curse you. USA.